The People's Rights. We're working with Ammon Buddy out of southern Idaho, and what a turnout! Thank you for all for being here today. And if you haven't yet, make sure to text the word rights, RIGHTS, to 80123, and you'll be part of this communications network that we're putting together with Ammon. Now, Kelly Stewart is the state coordinator for Washington. And, any of you know who Kelly Stewart is? No? Okay, not many, nobody? We'll look her up on Facebook.
Where on Facebook?
Kelly Stewart, if you're interested in who she is.
Will it be on your other People's Rights Washington Facebook?
Yeah, well, this is so new yet, and this just happened this week, so we're still learning where we're all at. But so the skinny on this is that I'm like the Region 8 person. I'm the area assistant. And we're looking for people in the other counties. There's 5 other counties. And these counties are Ferry, Stevens, Lincoln, Spokane, and Pend Oreille County. And we need like one person, a good person, man or woman, to step into that role. And basically how this works is that those people, myself and the other 4 people from the other counties, will basically if there's an issue in that county, they will contact that lead or that area assistance person. They'll contact me, and then I have access to the phone system, and I will send out a text message saying, we need people to show up at this business and help protect this business, or this person's child was taken. Well, help them get a lawyer, that sort of thing. So it's a really exciting thing. So we're going to have access to your phone numbers in case we need to get a hold of you. And so I'll be doing that and working with the other people in the other counties to do that. So it's really exciting. So the purpose of this also is to educate each other on our rights. So we're going to be doing a little education regularly on the Constitution, the Washington State Constitution, emphasizing that our rights are unalienable, God-given, and they're identified in the Constitution, the Washington State Constitution. So, we're just going to touch on this a little bit tonight. We'll work on the education aspect more down the road. But one of the things that I've used from the Washington State Constitution is Article 1, Section 5, and it says, every person may speak, write, and publish on all subjects, being responsible for the abuse of that liberty. And I asserted that right when I was at the Drag Queen Story Hour last June, and my friend Pastor Ashton Yackton was arrested. I had a chat with Sergeant Kakuta. I told them, this is my right you're infringing on. I was wearing a press badge with 2 cameras, and they kicked me across the street saying I wasn't not in favor of what they were doing, and that I was just there to document it, and they let me go back across the street. So we need to just encourage you for your homework tonight to read the Bill of Rights in the Washington State Constitution. Just get familiar with it because it just grants you more rights that are not maybe identified in the Constitution. So we're going to have an opportunity here for you all to come up and speak. We have Brent's here from Cole's Coffee, and we have Corey here from Questionable Authority. He just did a public records request, and he got the snitch list for Spokane. So we're going to start making that public. And that's, Corey's doing that. I'm not doing that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's really the gist of what we're doing with the People's Rights. I guess it's this is a national movement. So we're looking for people in other states to also coordinate. They'll be broken down in regions, like this is Region 8, 5 counties, and then we have people in California that are interested, Oregon, Montana, Washington. So it's really taking off. We do need other area assistant leads in other parts of the state also. So you can contact me if you like directly through my email, northidahoexposed@protonmail.com, and I will get you in touch with somebody who can help you maybe come into that role if that's something you're interested in doing. So, I guess do any of you have any questions on?
Area 8, where is that area?
Yeah, so that's just Western Washington, and again, it's counties Ferry, Stevens, Lincoln, Spokane, and Pend Oreille. Eastern Washington. Long day. So that's. We need 4 people to fill those other counties. So I'm kind of filling the role here in Spokane County. So we need 4 other people. I think we actually have 1 other person that might step in just to kind of fill the void right now. But if you know somebody, just reach out to me and I'll get you in touch with some.
Lives in the
That preferably because then we, someone who knows the area and all that. I don't know actually what his stance is. That's something I can find out. Yeah, I'll do that.
What does this person need to do?
I'm sorry?
What is this person going to be doing? What do you need to do?
So basically, people will contact that lead in that county, that area assistance person, and then, so like there's a business that has an issue, they'll contact that lead in that county or that area assistant. We're all the same. We're not leads. We're just area assistants. We're just helping. They will contact me because I'm the Region 8 person for those 5 counties, and then I will contact those people in those leads in that county, and then they will contact you. So that's how that works. So if you get, again, we're live streaming this. So again, if you haven't, text the word RIGHTS, RIGHTS to 80123, and we'll get your information. So far we have 23,000 people that are subscribed to this, and Ammon's only been doing this for like 6 months, I think, or 6 months, 6 weeks.
So really, this
So.
is a giant phone tree for boots on the ground when
Yep.
cops do some
Yes, and also there's a ham radio network too that's in conjunction with this also. So
You're
they're
the lead in Spokane.
right for Spokane, and then like just for the other counties in Region 8.
So do we need your phone number?
Yeah, my phone number will be made public, and we just ask that you don't abuse that because this is only for emergencies.
Where will it be made public?
I'll get that to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna make that public.
And do you need helpers or is it just
Most likely at some point. Yeah. Yep. So like this is so new, and we're gonna have a conference call soon with everybody that's involved in this movement to kind of flesh it out more. We're still working on it, so just be patient with us. We'll get there. But we have a great turnout, so thanks for coming, everybody. This is great.
We talk about the ham radio things, that's like part of that American Redoubt kind of thing.
I think so. I'll find out more about that. Yeah.
I'm in the process of moving from, the liberal side of the state over to Haven. I'll be at the House closed in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I'm a ham guy. I haven't been on for a long time, but
Okay.
start getting back in.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, I'll get that information to you. I'll find out more about that. Yep. Anybody else have any other questions or? Yeah.
So how are we addressing the law that was passed that when there's an emergency, a medical emergency, that all of our rights go out the window?
Yeah, I'll follow up with you on that. I don't know, that's kind of that's a tall order there. We're just really just to show up, and be proactive when a business or a family has an issue. Then we show up, we want this is peaceful, at all costs, and we just have to just get off our couches and just show up, and we're just disorganized, but it's going to change. So.
So we filled out a form online, when we texted, right, then we got a form, a link to fill out. So where is that information going and how is it being done? Good question.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll find out. Yep, it's so new that this next week should have more information. So this is going to be a regular thing. I don't know if it'll be weekly yet, but maybe bi-weekly, where we come together. We try to get as many people together as we can. We do some networking. We talk about rights. We were going to have Matt Shea and Caleb Collier speak, but they couldn't make it tonight. So we're gonna, this is definitely gonna turn into something big. So. Let's be part of history and let's take our country back, because freedom is the answer to everything. So let's do this. So here's Brent over here. I'm going to have him come over and speak. Hey, Brent, can you come speak? So this is Brent from Cole's Coffee.
How will we learn about these meetings?
I have access to the communications network. So when you guys text the word rights to 80123, I get your information. When I can send out text messages to all the people that are subscribed to Region 8. So that's how that works.
How often are you going to be sending out those messages? Because I texted rights to the number and I haven't gotten the
Yeah. You'll start getting weekly updates from Ammon. Generally, you'll get a recorded message to to your phone, and then you also get a text saying the next People's Rights meeting is at such and such place. And so I'll kind of be probably doing the same thing. I don't know if it'll be voice. It'll just be text. Yeah. So here's Brett from Cole's Coffee, and he opened up early. When did you open? May 4th? May 4th. Yeah.
For you, brother.
On the mic, yes.
You got a mic? Well, thank you guys all for coming out here on a cool day. You got that? Okay. So, this is real new to me. I've been in Spokane for many years. I've run a construction company for 40 years, which is not doing so well right now because some of the people that we were going to build for got scared. So that's kind of took a whole year's of work away from me at this point. But I'm just telling you that's what this COVID did. It's killing our businesses, and we all know that. And we need to support our small businesses and quit supporting our big businesses. That's just my opinion. So this opening, we got the privilege, thank you for opening into stage 2. Screw stage 2! Screw stage 3, screw stage 4. We are Americans with brains. We're open for business, absolutely. And I have told this to other people. Listen, open your business. It is not against the law. It is our right to do that. All you people there will support us, right? If you got small businesses, raise your hand. I've done this. Support, look at these guys. Ask them who their small business is. Support them, because that's what we need. We can't do it on our own. I have felt opening May 4th all by myself for quite a while. I could not convince people to open up. They're scared of a lie. They are scared of a lie. This is not America. We are America. The tyrant that's telling us that we can't be is not our brother.
Government is not America.
So-
Government is not America.
I get fired up because I have a coffee company a lot of you guys have been to, and you've supported it. May 4th we opened because they said we could, and they lied to us. And I'm not going to eat that line in it. We did close down. We have followed some of their restrictions. But there's not an end. Do you guys see the phase 5? Have you seen it?
No. No phase 5.
You know what phase 5 is? Us fighting back. That's phase 5. They leave.
Phase 1.
Yeah, get them rid of all. The end of phase 4, the phase 4, it's open. It doesn't close. Social distancing forever? No. Absolutely not.
Have you seen what it takes to go back to school in the plant?
No, we all probably have read it. I think we're all up on our reading what the Bill of Rights is and our rights. Read them. Clearly, they cannot do this. It's a fear tactic. Masks are bondage. They're there for a reason, for doctors and nurses and painters. They aren't there for us to stand 5 feet apart and not hug each other. That is not going to happen. So I just encourage you all to give each other a hug and a high five and none of this. And thank you for my time. Thank you. I've had people come up. And say, you only opened your business because you wanted to make money. You're damn right I wanted to make money. That's why I have a business. Don't tell me I'm just doing it for money.
What do you think the government's doing?
Cole's Coffee,
What do you think they're doing?
Cole's Coffee supports 150 kids a week we pay to eat. We sent out 800 meals last month and more this month. So you shut me down, 150 families don't get to eat. They don't understand behind the scenes what's actually going on.
They don't care.
The vulnerable are the kids too, not just the elderly. Protect the kids. So thank you for your support and God bless you all.
Knock it out of the park.
Thanks.
Wait, hold on. All right, does anybody else want to come up and say a word? Okay, come on up.
Get up. Get on up.
You can step up there if you
All
want.
right, thank you.
You can just hold those. Yep, those are for the cameras. Just hold it close. You don't have to fit. You can just hold it.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you. It's amazing to be with people without masks and feel like a human. Woo! You know,
For themselves.
absolutely. And we were really thankful to go to Cole's Coffee and just sit and have a coffee and feel like, yeah, this isn't what it is to be an American. I can just go have coffee somewhere and not accept this new normal. No. So I wanted to come up and speak. My name is Colleen Palmer, and I'm part of an organization called Spokane Wired. And we're really concerned about the 5G towers going up in our neighborhoods, in front of our homes, devaluing our property, and irradiating us 24/7. Now, this is a technology that has never been tested for safety. And we have been trying to engage our city council, and we haven't had great success yet. And this is where we will need all of you, and where we will need all of us to stand together.
Burn them down.
We're hoping we won't have to burn them down. We want to prevent them going up. And part of what we're going to do in supporting each other's business is coming to each other's aid when we need it. And I feel that we are also going to need that in our neighborhoods, in coming to the aid of our neighbors when a tower is being put up in front of their home that they never agreed to, and it's being put up against their will, lowering their property, giving them cancer potentially. And this is based on science that was done, a $25 million study that was done over 30 years. It was a national toxicology study, discovered that the wireless radiation we are exposed to right now causes cancer. And now this 5G grid they're trying to put up, not only will it affect our health, but it's going to be used to surveil our property. They're introducing new frequencies that can go through walls. And it's very much like a bat can see. They see with frequency. This technology is capable of that. And also the history of some of these frequencies is that they have been used by the military as energy weapons. They can be triangulated and pointed at a target. This is not appropriate for a civilian neighborhood. It is not appropriate for the United States of America. And we will really need all of you to know about this, to know what it really is. It's part of contact tracing. It's part of control. Know what it is. That's number one. Number two, if we start exchanging information, know that we are going to also need your aid and your help. Coming to protests, calling all of our city officials, coming to the aid of your neighbors and your neighborhoods and your parks and your schools. So I thank you so much for your time. So you can find us at SpokaneWired.org. You can always find us there. We're also on Facebook, Spokane Wired. We're on Instagram, No5G Spokane. So you can find us, SpokaneWired.org. And please reach out to us, join our contact list. We want to help all of you and all of your businesses and support you as Americans. And we want to protect our city from this toxic and also violation of our rights as Americans from this technology. So
is there a plan to do this?
a plan to
To stop it?
yeah, so we're engaging with City Council right now. Yeah. And we're engaging with a lawyer. We're looking to actually raise funds to serve them with information, but then also to serve them with liability if they continue to not do anything. And we want to use the courts, but we also may need to use bodies standing in front of power poles, not allowing new ones to go in.
How are you identifying the 5G versus cell phone?
Well, we're calling actually 5G small cell towers have been licensed to go into our neighborhoods in front of our homes.
Visually, how do you?
Well, the ones that are going in the neighborhoods are sitting on top of a power pole, and they're kind of brownish. But they're also adding additional transmitters on the towers already existing as well. And they actually don't have to disclose what frequency they're using. Yeah. Yeah, so thanks.
Sound like a Vista of poles? Because we were downtown at the courthouse today, and right across a brand new pole that says a Vista.
Yeah, they are. So Avista feels as though they have to comply with coordinating this deployment.
Yeah, they said one right across down Broadway. Right?
Yeah, so I actually spoke to Avista a couple months ago. So they feel that they have to comply, and everyone's kind of passing the buck to the next person.
We can individually take power of our own properties by starting with refusing the smart meter and having it uninstalled if they've already done it.
Yeah, I hope everyone heard that. You can opt out of your smart meter,
And they can come and uninstall it.
and that's a really great idea. So, anyway. Well, everything requires power. So, in theory, you cut the power, you cut the transmission. I don't really like the idea of things being on fire because that puts all kinds of toxins in the air. It also sets a person up for a lot of money they owe the company if they, get caught. So I'm not really a fan of that idea, but if that technology is being used to attack you as a weapon, you have to talk to some constitutional law people to find out what's legal for you to do or within your right to protect yourself, your property, and your family.
No, it's all good.
But I think we explore all options. Yeah.
May I
Yeah.
pause you for one
I'm
moment?
gonna step down now.
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't have to, hon. I just,
Yeah.
The officer's not here to mix this up at all. He's here looking for a missing child.
Oh.
So if you could keep your eyes open for an 8-year-old, he's black male, goes by the name Nasai. He's last reported wearing a gray shirt and Levi shorts, or jean shorts. I guess, I don't know if they're Levi, that's a brand name. Nasai.
Is there an Amber Alert?
Not yet. He was last seen about a block that way. He's in a group home at about 5:30.
A group home?
Yes. For a kid.
How old is he?
8 years old.
Can you spell his name?
No.
It's Nasai.
His name again. Nasai.
Nasai.
And if I was able to spell it for you, you'd mispronounce it. Or, I don't know. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
God bless
Yeah.
y'all.
Thanks so much.
Keep going. I apologize for the pause.
No, that was important. No, I think I've said my piece. So please keep in touch with us, SpokaneWire.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just hold it. I'm not going to be here too long. Hi, everybody. I'm not standing up there because I will fall down. Oh, can you hear me better now? No? Okay, I'll just yell. I'm pretty good at yelling. How many of you guys have been to the protest here in Spokane? Awesome. Great. We didn't have as much of a turnout at the last one, but we are having another protest. Have you seen it? Okay. May 29th, which is a week from tonight, 4 o'clock, same place at the Spokane Arena. We'll march to City Hall from there. We have a beautiful speaker, or a singer that's going to, sing the national anthem. We're pretty excited about that. We have a couple of speakers coming, different people you've never heard from before, which will be really cool. So next Friday, 4 o'clock, Spokane Arena. Please show up. Bring as many people as you can. We want this to be the biggest march that we have had so far. We want thousands of people to show up.
What's the group that's sponsoring this, or the message you're trying to convey?
So we have a few different groups. You probably have seen them. I'm with Citizens United for Reopening the Economy, CURE. We also have Reopen Spokane County, Reopen Spokane, Reopen Washington. So all of us are involved in that. And the message is we need to open. We need to stop this phasing. We need to get back to work. People want to get back to their lives and stop losing their businesses. Just do it.
And just do it.
Exactly.
begging your masters for
Yes.
permission.
We have to
Enough.
assert pressure on our legislators, and we've been doing that. It has had an effect. It certainly has, but probably not as much as we would like. Also, on the next day, so a week from tomorrow, Saturday, there is going to be a picnic right here in this park. I was calling it Pig Out with Patriots, and I got in some pretty hot water with the Pig Out guy. Called me terrible. He was a very unpleasant person. He was a jerk. He was a jerk. I was nice. He was not nice. So we changed it. It's now called Picnic with Patriots. And again, 11 o'clock here. I think there are going to be some vendors selling some stuff. We're trying to get a couple of singers. I have a guy that really wants to come, but he will only come if he makes a certain, he really wants to make $100. I think we can do that. I am going to sponsor hot dogs, so I'm going to pay for hot dogs for the event as much as I can, unless they get donated, which could happen. But please come to that event. We want kids. We just want to get back to our lives. Next Saturday is supposed to be a beautiful day. From the forecast, it looks like it's going to be a sunny day, so I think it'll be a great time to be outside here at this venue. So show up. We need people. We need to get back to our lives, and we need each other. It's great to have this crowd and to know we're not alone in this. We have many people that feel the same way we do.
For the business owners, are you organized?
So the question is, the business owners, are we organized? We tried. We tried to put a meeting together 2 weeks ago. Maybe it was a week ago. Every day's running into the next day. And we had 4 people show up. 4 business owners show up. So it was a bomb. I'm not sure. I think business owners are very nervous about opening and, losing licenses and all of that kind of stuff. Absolutely for good reason. My husband owns a small business, but he is essential. So, we don't have that. We don't have that choice.
I would love a list of businesses that are open.
The only bad thing about that is that makes it public for the government to come on,
They're doing it on Facebook with black diamonds and all of that.
I got the snitch list is everybody that's open. I'll tell you where you can get it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So if you forget the dates that I told you, or you want to keep on top of where we are, with the events coming up, we have a website. It's called standwithcure.com. So again, cure, remember, freedom is a cure. Citizens United for Reopening the Economy. We're trying to use this cure word. And anyway, standwithcure.com is my website, and then I think Reopen Spokane has a website, or they're working on a website as well. You can find us on Facebook, and we are out there. If you go out there, you'll find me on Facebook too, because I've been out there a lot.
What time did you say the picnic is?
The picnic is at 11 o'clock next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Here you go, just hold on to that.
I don't think it works.
It does.
It does.
Yeah,
Oh,
just hold the microphones
okay,
like,
gotcha.
hold both of them.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I know.
Hi, my name is Patty, and I'm working with the CULP campaign. And I wanted to let you know that, and I'm not here for that, but next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday, they're doing a last-minute CULP rally in North Spokane. Lauren will be there speaking. So whether you support him or another Republican for governor, it's a good way to hear what he stands for. They're putting it together last minute, so we just kind of decided on next Sunday. So I'll be putting flyers all over Facebook, all the groups, along with Nancy's and those that I'm following. So next Sunday in North Spokane at the Sundance Plaza from 1 to 3, Lauren will be there speaking, and I'm not sure who else is in the lineup. So just wanted to give you a heads up, because it's hard to get Lauren, if you support him, to a rally where he's actually speaking. So that's going to be pretty
pretty nice to have that. So anyways, heads up on that, and I'll put flyers out once I have it created. And it's from 1 to 3, next Sunday, the 31st. That is over on Indian Trail in North Spokane. So I have not been there, but they have the permit and they're all ready to go. So, okay, that's it.
Hold the mics if you could.
All right, so I just started a couple years ago. I had an incident with kind of our local government, and I wasn't happy with it, so I started just questioning things a lot more. I picked up a camera, started documenting what our government does, and started learning more, and just trusting it more and more and more, and now I don't trust it at all. I don't have any need for it. So this has really exposed that to me. The thing that bothered me the most in all this was one of the first conferences I saw with the Spokane County Commissioners and the Spokane County Health District was they were literally asking our neighbors to socially shame us if we don't agree with these recommendations or these orders they're asking. And that's, you know, I hate to make this connection, but this is how serious it is. That's what they did in Nazi Germany.
Yep.
So that's what we're facing. And so that's why I decided to do a public records request to see who, not only what businesses were opening, who have the courage to stand against this and defy these orders, but to also see who might submit their own information that I've submitted this, me, Sherry, or Corey, or whoever it is, had the courage to submit that my neighbor is somehow doing something wrong by just trying to support their families and their friends and their employees and their families. So I have it. It's available it's for the whole state, not just Spokane. It's every businesses that were open, gyms, you know, it's separated dine-in, gatherings, so churches, birthday parties that people had. I mean, it's amazing what people will report. It really is. I've posted it. I have on Facebook. It's News Now Northwest or Questionable Authority. I have cards you can get from me with ways to contact it. Questionable Authority is how you can find me online. I have a YouTube channel, a blog, and I posted it there so you can download the actual Excel files yourself. You can view them, download them, do whatever you want with them. Post them, I don't care, get them out. It needs to be out. You know, and I don't want anything bad to happen to people that are snitching on our neighbors, but we need to know who these people are, because they're the ones that think that, whether it's they think their life or someone like Jay Inslee's life, obviously they think someone's life is more important than ours.
Yep.
They're telling us that, no, you're going out to support your family. That's not okay, because we need to make sure these people are more safe. And that's not okay. We're all equal. I'm pretty sure the Declaration of Independence says we're all equal. It doesn't matter where we came from or what we believe in. We're all equal. So that's why I did that. And I wasn't necessarily going to go into this, but Casey brought up education. People had some questions. So one thing I just wanted to bring up really quick. I've been going around and taking down fences like this at playgrounds, freeing them. People should be able, that's their choice to play. I haven't done it to be obstinate or anything, but I've done it to educate people. People need to understand that the city can put up a sign that says a playground is closed. I can also put up a sign that says the playground is closed. It doesn't mean anything to any of you. I can put up one that says, please don't come here because there's a horrible pandemic. We recommend you don't do it. Anyone can do that. What we did with the Constitution is we established the rules of our government. That's what the Constitution is. It doesn't rule over us. It's the government. So everything the government does or can do to us has to be backed up by a number of a code. So like, for example, if I go over here to this disabled parking spaces, there's usually an RCW underneath there. And that means if I park there and I don't have the pass, a law enforcement officer, somebody charged with enforcing those statutes, can write me a ticket and take some money from me. So, but there has to be a code number that you can reference that I can say, oh yeah, I broke this code, and they can also write down so when I have to go to court, they know what the fine is. There's no code, whether it be city, municipal, county, state, anything on any of these signs closing us down. So that's why our law enforcement isn't enforcing this. It's not because they're taking a stand and I'm with the people. There's no order. People don't like me to say this term. It makes them uncomfortable. Police are order followers.
Amen.
So that statute, yes, a policy, that order, that policy tells them they can do something. But they also have this is what I've been talking to. I don't like the law enforcement profession, but one of the things I've been talking to all of my encounter about is I appreciate that they are standing down. And they're not, some of them are finding ways to arrest people doing things like this. Like, if you destroy a sign, if you destroy property, that's probably not very smart. You shouldn't do that. That is a crime, even in things I believe. So you shouldn't be doing that stuff. But if you're not breaking any laws, they can't enforce anything. So if you want to do things to kind of question your government, you need to start looking up laws and statutes. That's how they can enforce things. And if there's a statute involved with it, so like people have said, public officials have said you'll be trespassed from these areas if you go play in them. So look up the trespassing laws. The trespassing laws in the state of Washington say that you have to be, if it's a public area, you have to be criminally trespassed. So you can't, somebody can't just say, well, I don't like the way that guy's sitting on the table, or I shouldn't be standing on this bench, let's trespass him. You have to be doing a criminal activity, like having an open container of alcohol, something that's breaking a statute. So even if they say they're going to do something to trespass, you have to be breaking a law to be trespassed from a public area. Yes. You have to also be that, hey, will you leave? If they don't ask you to leave, they can't do it. So I'll stop with that. I just wanted you guys to get a little bit of an understanding about this is all just based on compliance. It's 100% compliance. All these signs and everything. So
Can you repeat your questionable authority?
Questionable authority. Yeah.
And what was your other?
Well, I used to be called News Now Northwest when I first started it, so you can find me under that. Like on Facebook, that's what it's under, I think. But everything comes up with questionable authority as my logo now. So. The other thing I briefly wanted to speak about was, a couple of the bars that have opened up this last weekend, the Black Diamond, the Iron Horse, are a couple that come to mind. They were visited by the liquor board this week, and that's why they kind of shut down. Black Diamond kind of says a different story, but I think they kind of shut down because of the liquor board visit. But that doesn't matter. They had the courage to open up, and we need to all support them for that. But I had a conversation with the owner from the Black Diamond today, and it kind of reminded me of some. Have anybody here heard of the Milgram experiments? All right, so they were conducted by a psychologist, and it's very questionable, highly unethical, but basically what they did is they had someone posed as a teacher, and then in another room they had someone posed as a learner, so a student. And they took participants, and they gave them a machine that they thought was giving an electronic shock to the learner, the student. And every time the student got an answer that the teacher was asking them, they got an answer wrong, they'd get a shock. And it started at 15 volts, and it increased 15 volts until it got to 450, which was the maximum of the machine. So at 125 volts, the learner, who was they weren't actually getting shocked. It was just a
ruse.
Yeah. Yeah, an actor. So at 125 volts, they were told to start shouting out with every shock. Ah! So then at 350 volts, they were told to stop making any noise, just stop responding. So if the person doing the shocking, the participant in the study, questioned it at all. Well, I don't know if it sounds like they're really getting hurt over there. The teacher was told to tell them, we really have to do this, and get more, if they started questioning more, to increasingly be more and more stern, and no, this is what has to be done, and to eventually just say, well, we don't have any other choice. This is what has to be done. And in the end of that study, 65% of the participants went all the way to 450 volts. Remember, they stopped hearing any response at 350 volts and went 15 volts increments up to 450 because an authority figure told them they were supposed to, and they obeyed it. Now, a lot of people stop with that because they just want to talk about the ethics of that study. But there were some continuations they did, some variants they put in there. And one of them that I thought was most important was they added in 2 teachers. And at one point, when the learner was starting to make some noise and react, the second teacher would say, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, and question the other teacher. And in that variance, nobody made it to 450 volts.
Amen. Stand up.
So if one
Stand up.
person starts standing up and questioning what is going on, it spreads, and other people start questioning it and at least not obeying it. So it's really important. You know, this is the first meeting of this. You guys are all the pioneers of this group right here. You should all be really proud of yourselves for having the courage to come to something like this. It's hard to stand up, and it's hard to stand up and do what you've done and have people tell you you're crazy and all this stuff. It's going to happen. I'm going to tell you. If you stand up, people are going to yell at you. People are going to tell you you're crazy. Ignore it. You're not.
You're selfish.
You're free, and you're not hurting anyone. All right?
Actually, do you want to talk about contact tracing? Huh?
Just hold it like
While
this.
you're getting that on, I was just gonna tell you, I got a breaking news
Together.
alert.
There you go. That's it. You don't have to pin it. Okay, can I put this in your pocket, or
Yeah.
just hold it? I'll just hold it.
Outbreak in 24
It's kind of a pain.
test positive. So I just have to wonder what this is going to do to our faith. And who is it that has 24 workers? What's the, is Philadelphia Macaroni Company? 24 workers test positive. I'm guessing nobody's had any hospitalized. I don't know who that is. No, I've never heard of it either. It's not a It says Spokane plant. A Spokane plant.
Yeah, to me, that's actually a huge concern is this whole contact tracing and testing positive. If it were me, I'd be resisting the testing because they've shown so many false positives, and you just do not want to test. The most important thing you could do is stay healthy. You may not know who I am, but my name's Ingrid Castle. I'm the Director of Vaccination Liberation, and I have a radio show on RBN called Immunize Wisely. And we've talked in past shows. In fact, the 5G stuff really perked my interest because I had Martin Paul on my show prior to him speaking here, and I wished our groups were more connected because I'm very involved in our North Idaho group, and we had Susan Clark train us, and she's the one who secured that win in Connecticut. So you need to be working with us. I mean, this is an aside, you really need to be connecting with the HS Idaho. And I mean, you should contact me afterwards, please, because I'll put you in touch with Ann. She spent like a lot of hundreds of dollars with Susan Clark getting the most powerful PowerPoint you'll ever have. I'm just saying. So we should be connecting on that issue, which is huge. But yeah, the contact tracing, you brought that up, and I'm like, it is a huge issue. My only daughter and my only granddaughter live in Seattle, and I'm like, this is way out there. I mean, because frankly, all our personalities and families are different, and she would probably roll over and get tested. I'm just saying. And all I can say is that something you've got to resist. I don't know how many times I can. That is how tyranny gets in. Quarantine is when you sequester sick people. Amen. Tyranny is when you sequester healthy people. So we got to get really clear about what's really happening here. So I just want you to understand the whole contact tracing has to do with the testing positive. And people voluntarily. There'll be lots of people testing positive. If you had a cold or flu this year, you're going to test positive. I mean, you're going to test positive. I mean, you had a flu shot, exactly. So, I mean, Jenna's, a lot of people have been doing research, and figuring this stuff out. I had, Sally Fallon did a really good thing, kind of introduced me and kind of got Andrew Kaufman famous on the whole thing with her excellent, is the coronavirus contagious? So I had her on the radio. But the one before was David Crow. You might want to see The Infectious Myth. .com, The Infectious Myth. John Rappaport's been talking about him. John Rappaport, if you don't get no more fake news, You're not paying attention to this whole game. I'm just saying, he's just so awesome. But, we could go into how we're smarter than everyone. The basic thing here is we're facing serious tyranny, and we've got to stand up. So we can all be on our computers and learning and watching this video. We all love Amazing Polly, and, we're so cool. No, we need to get out there. We need to get out there, not just protest. We need to teach everyone around us. We do not want to bring communism to this country in this way. Right now, the CCP is better off. I mean, the people under the CCP, they didn't lock down for as long as we are. I mean, we have communism here and everyone's just rolling over. So it really kind of blows me away. So tell everyone, please don't get tested. Resist shots, resist testing, because, that's all contact tracing is. You'll test positive, your cell phone contacts, everyone. I mean, they're going to be pushing testing on anyone you've ever had any contact with. Oh yeah, it's really crazy. It's going to be out there. Okay. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say. I'm sorry, that's just.
Hold it like that, maybe.
How's everybody doing? So I'm nobody important. I'm just an ordinary, average, everyday person. But I wanted to let everybody know that your freedoms, your liberties, they're not granted to you by a government. The governments are instituted to protect them. And our rights don't come from a constitution. The Constitution was created to protect the rights. Inalienable doesn't mean that that the government can come in and say, well, today we think because there's a pandemic, we're going to tell you what to do. Free people, when informed, will consent to the right choices. You don't need to be forced to wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask, feel free. But you can't force or mandate or dictate anybody to wear a mask anywhere except maybe in some sort of a hospital setting or something like that. I also think it's important that when we're protesting, when we're out there and we're speaking to one another and we're standing for something, that we're not just out there chanting, USA, USA, USA.
Thank you.
Have a point to make.
Thank you.
And when you're confronted by authority or by people who disagree with you, you don't have to curse, yell, be rude. You stand on principle. You stand on logic. You stand on reason. And when they break themselves against principle and logic and reason, things are rightly going to be corrected. But we cannot be reduced to the level of those tyrants by being forced to comply with things that are irrelevant and unimportant. I just think it's very important, though, that we understand and we comprehend that when we're out there and we are protesting, we are not just there to be present, but we're there to send a message. So make sure you understand what that message is, and convey that message, and not just sit there chanting stupid, repetitive.
What are you willing to do for that message?
Absolutely right. Yeah. What do you?
How many videos have we seen recently where people show up with guns, show up and say, "I will be arrested," and walk that?
Well, it's fun, and all that's well and good, but we need to be putting these people on notice. If they're over there telling us to disperse unlawfully, then we need to be respectful and say, put them on notice back with a bullhorn. Your orders are unlawful. Should you choose to engage in that activity, we will hold you accountable to your oaths. You're all in violation of your oaths. You will all be held accountable, and that's the bottom line. We are the authority. The power is inherent in the people, and everybody here needs to understand that it doesn't take, you can be scared, you can get nervous in talking to these guys, and you might forget what you're saying. Take some time to converse with others. Speak to them about what rights really mean. What are they? Where do they come from? What does inalienable or unalienable mean? What's the difference? Unalienable rights or inalienable rights, folks, they can't be removed from you. They can't be transferred. You can't even give them away. You can only consent to having them infringed upon. That's your choice. But let's think about this for a second. What makes it a right? It's self-evident. If I hold a gun to your head and say, sign this contract, does that make it a valid contract? Of course not. It's self-evident. It's invalid from the beginning. there's nobody who can take away that right from you to say it's invalid. It's impossible. Now, you can say, okay, I consent to it. That's a different story. But, folks, we got to stand up for principle, okay? And also, we are so diluted in our movements. 5G, vaccinations, pro-choice, everything you can imagine. Everybody's out there pissing into the wind all of their energies. It's time to stop, gather together into one united force, distill all of those those movements into their basic fundamental principles, unite around those principles, and come together. Let's stop being islands among islands. It's time to unite. Thank you, guys.
Freedom's the only answer.
Anybody else want to say one more? You want to say something? Come on up. It's all about us. Just hold like that.
Okay.
Just hold those two together.
I'm a contractor, and I had no plan on speaking, but I'm going to speak to people of faith. I imagine many of you are people of faith, but whether you are or not, there's just to the point that you made about authority. There's science and there's scientism. So an ism is just a belief with faith assumptions. And there are plenty of faith assumptions in the scientific community, but they're being used as a way to win an argument without making the argument. So it's the argument from authority. And that's how you get people to shock fellow citizens without even a question. It's the argument from authority, and it's how this 5G stuff is getting ready. I don't even know the subject, but I'd like to know it. But before we even have a chance, we're told, to listen to the people with letters behind their names and never make the argument at all. As a person of faith in the Judeo-Christian tradition, civil disobedience was true for the entire history of the movement. Whether it's the midwives saying no to Pharaoh when they were told to throw the babies in the water. But all the way down, okay? So the reason I got up was to straighten a few things out that are being taught these days. One in churches is that in Romans 13 it says to submit to your government, which under normal circumstances, if you've got a good governor or a good leader, then the principle is be a good citizen, do your part, which is what's going on. But occasionally that doesn't work. In Acts 5:29, Peter says we must obey God rather than men. So right now I think that our country is in crisis, and the church is for those of you that are members in churches and you have pastors and you have people that it's critical, I believe, that if there's a sleeping giant right now, and the church may be sick and whatnot, but if just one portion of our society, whether it's businesses or whatever, stands together, then we can put down these bullies. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm looking at social media, and every time anyone's isolated, then the authorities come in and crush that person, and then it's done. But I mean, I've come to 2 rallies now, and unfortunately, it's like we've got to organize better than this. So whether it's assembling businesses or the church or wherever that point of pressure is going to be, I'm guilty as anyone. I've never done that much civil disobedience, but we, yeah. So there's a difference between submitting and obeying. At this point, we need to, when dictates from tyrants and mad power, kings would run contrary to the commands of God, it's time to obey God rather than men. And so I just want to encourage you. I hope to meet many of you. I think like others have said, it's time to get off social media and do some old-fashioned networking and start talking to one another. And because I don't think it's not going to work that way. So anyway.
Good job. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's all right. Give me that. All right. Got it? Let's hold this too, kid.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I know this has been long. I'm going to make this really short. Me and Questionable Authority, Corey, we've been going out. I'm from Seattle. So I've seen a lot of the liberals and a lot of order followers and people that are doing, oh, government says this is good, you do this, you do that, you close your business, obey. I have friends of mine that won't leave their house. Why won't you leave? Oh, saving lives. How many lives you save? I don't know. Yeah. So, I mean, I see this in both perspectives. Me and Corey, 2 days ago went to Bill Gates' house. So, he was having a party, actually. And there was more than 10 people there, I guarantee it. They brought food in and stuff, and the police were called, of course. And, you know.
Is anybody wearing a mask?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, we didn't see anybody beyond the wall. I mean, if you take a look at Google Earth and look at the compound that he has, it's pretty big. He bought the 7 houses around him. Yeah, he did, and his neighbor that bought the house told us we couldn't videotape on the public road there. We believe he's the one that called the police, and the police came out and said, you're okay. But our point was, we had a sign that said, pretty much, you're evil, you know, you take the shot first. You know, let's see it go into your arm and the plunger go down. You know, you want to get rid of all these people on the planet, your family can go first. That'll take some of the numbers. We're tired of unelected officials, even elected officials, telling us what we can and cannot do with our lives. Me and Corey today went to the liquor board because I don't know what, Corey, what'd they give?
They went, and I don't know if they gave citations, but, they gave warnings to the bars I mentioned. And, the marches that we've been doing are great, but I guess I feel like I talked to some of the mayors, within their system, they're trying to do what is best for us, but it's within their system. So
System of corruption.
we went and just, three of us just
We-
went outside the liquor board, and I gave them money.
He gave him our mind and said, we're not going to take this anymore.
Those are part of our community. The reason I did it is because the guy from the black community, he said, well, they're just doing their job. And I said, yeah. He said it's not their fault. I said, no, it is their fault.
It is. It is their fault.
The SS soldiers were doing their job during Nazi, Germany.
Cite anybody. He's not going to come out of his mansion. He's not going
Somebody's got to stand up.
Olympia or wherever and stand there. There's nothing they're going to do. Except he's going to send members of our own community and pit them against us. So I went there and I told him that. You guys are us. You're this community. But you're listening to someone over there because they need to hear that. That's what's going to make them stop. That's what has made our politicians get off their butts and try to get us to phase two.
That's good.
The only reason.
Where was that from?
Went down there, you guys
That was
went
from
down there yelling at
a
us.
post that
Let us
had,
work, not even let
somebody
us.
had
We're
commented
going to
on
work.
this post.
So, yeah, we need to start doing that. The people that take stuff away from us, go make them uncomfortable. They're making all of us uncomfortable.
Exactly. Film everything, people. I'm serious. Film everything. If you do one thing today, and you have an opportunity to film a cop, film a public official, hemming someone up for doing nothing but
I wanted you to read it.
lawful
Oh, you wanted-
Everybody could hear it.
Please
I was
record.
like,
I would say
I'm
to
not good at
everyone,
reading
that is
stuff,
my number one
like out
message,
loud.
because
I'll let
nobody
you do it, though.
holds any of these jackboots accountable. That's it.
The one other thing I wanted to say, and then that's it, is on the Seattle side, and after we went to Bill Gates' house, we drove by a park that had tape. That couldn't happen. So we started taking down the tape. That same cop showed up and said, "Oh, you guys again?" And he said, "Did you guys take down the tape?" We said, "Yeah." He said, "There's no ordinance or law saying that kids can't play." Yesterday we were in Sandpoint, across from City Hall. We were taking down the signs that weren't letting the kids play on these playgrounds. And the cop comes over and says, "Are you stealing city property?" "No, we're gonna take it down." Well, his answer to that was, if I had a sign that said I had $1 million and put it on my wall, does that make it true? And I said, if you're a city official and you put a sign up and telling kids they can't play in a playground, they're not going to go against that. Taking the signs down, taking this stuff down is what needs to be done. Let them be free.
Yes, hell yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that'll be coming down.
It's coming down.
So on that, I'm going to say thank you guys. If you want to see more, I've done a lot of videotaping or video recording on the what Seattle's done on the COVID, putting up the FEMA camps that are giving marijuana, cigarettes, and beer to the occupants inside.
In Seattle, no shit.
They're buying hotels, the Red Lion Inn, a huge hotel to house people that could be susceptible to homeless and COVID, and letting them leave whenever they want. I mean, it's just insane what's going on over there. And I'm trying to document it the best I can. My channel is Extortion Everywhere.
Extortion everywhere?
Yes.
Amen.
So if you guys want to check that out and look at the videos, I'd appreciate it. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for being Americans.
All right, I think we're going to close out the event for this this time. Did you want to say something? I know. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I do want to say, a lot of people don't realize the health concerns behind wearing a mask. Seriously, look it up. It is insane. This is
The
so
bad,
unhealthy.
the negatives.
Oh yeah, the negatives of wearing a mask. You're just killing your immune system. Is what you're doing.
Exactly.
Look it up.
I agree.
I work with old people in healthcare. It is retarded what is going on. We're jailers.
It's kind of funky. We'll work on this. Thanks.
You want me to say test first? Test test?
Just like that.
All right.
Hypoxia, which is lacking their blood, so why would you want to deprive people of oxygen?
And wear the same gloves all day long and touch everything.
Hi, everybody. My name's Chris. I'm here from Pullman, Moscow. Bit of a drive, but this is awesome to see this turnout. I ETS from the Army in 2013, and you know, it completely turned my life around what I saw. Guys shattered. I know this is about the quarantine and the lockdown, but it's overall about freedom. And I put together a free curriculum for you guys, for anybody that wants to read. A free curriculum. A compilation of documentaries, of lectures, of PowerPoint presentations, completely free. I'm not asking for any money. It's on BitChute. It's bitchute.com/Libertas Mystery School.
Nice.
We go
Love it.
Libertas, which is it's Latin for liberty. bitchute.com/Libertas Mystery School. The topics go from the history that you don't know about, that isn't taught in the government-run schools, philosophy, psychology, how to recognize a psychopath, narcissists, because they're definitely in the courtrooms and yeah, for sure, in that White House. So there's that, and I also want to recommend a book. It's by Gene Sharp, and it is Waging Nonviolent Struggle. Gene Sharp is a professor who studied extensively how Martin Luther King and Gandhi coordinated the people and organized nonviolently and was able to overcome their challenges. And he gives an unbelievable amount of information in that one book that you guys can use if you want to form community groups in your churches or wherever. Those two sources, I mean, I took 7 years for me to put that curriculum together, and I hope you guys check it out.
I will, thank you.
And one more thing, very important. How many people here know about the fourth branch of government? The common law grand jury.
It is, yep.
Does anybody know about the common law grand jury? It is the people's right to convene a court and to hold anybody accountable in that court if there is a violation of rights.
This
Yeah.
man, let's do it.
It is sovereign. It's sovereign, it's immune, and is the way that the people come together and indict people for crimes.
Right.
Politicians,
That is right.
lawyers, judges, cops, any one of them. The people can come together as a representative of their community and take these people to court and put them on trial and get a remedy. That's all I wanted to say. And I hope you guys check that out. And you. Thanks for telling me about this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give it to him.
All right.
You can just kind of.
I'm sorry, can you say the name again? Libertas?
Libertas Mystery School.
Here, this one, I'll have to hold in his hand. You don't have to hold it too close. That's good.
Well, that's good.
That's all. I know it's funky.
I'm no good at public speaking anyway. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing what I've been doing for a long time. I thought this would be a good place to tell everybody. Okay.
All right, everybody, if you listen to the speaker here.
Hi everyone. What's that? Hi everyone. I suppose all of you know that our founders were pretty smart people and they left us checks and balances. The problem was they didn't teach it to us. And I've been with a group called E-Clause and Kirk's Law Corner. Right now they're teaching a class online right now. And I've been with them for 2 years. And what we do is we were licensed. We had to be able to prove to the Attorney General of the United States that we could do the law upside down, backwards, and everything. And we had to know the whole history of this country and what really happened. Now, we can remove anybody out of their position of emoluments. They're in a position of emoluments, they're in the public, and they're serving the people. And we are in the private. We are called sovereigns. They're called citizens. And I don't know if you know this, but law stands for land, air, and water.
That's right.
And land is our common law, property, equity, and rights. That's what we're supposed to be under. The air is ecclesiastics, is canon trust law. And water is admiralty law. That's contract law. And these lower courts, it's contract. Judges call balls and strikes. The jury themselves is the one that decides the punishment. They don't have any power. The lower courts, you can challenge their authority and jurisdiction and end it right there. Because they have no authority and jurisdiction. They cannot have advantage, profit, and gain while receiving a stipend in their office. They're paid by us. They can't receive a stipend and charge a fee, and they produce bonds on it, and it goes into their pensions and retirement. So in our classes, we're teaching people how we use a remonstrance, and it's filed in the legislature for their violations. Now, we have articles, statutes, and codes. That's our law. We, the people, in the preamble of the Constitution, we laid down the law. We said government shall make no law. The only way they can make any law, and the 13th Amendment was the last one that was ever ratified. There was no ratification after that. And they're called articles. They're not called amendments. All the rest are no good.
Yep.
And so, slavery, they didn't get freed. Nobody got freed.
Nope.
Everybody's made equal slaves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so what we're teaching everybody, and we need more help, you kind of have to be a gearhead to do this. But even in the titles like Title 18 USC 242, 3571, read what you can do to these people. Every violation of your constitutional right, it's a $250,000 fine for each violation. And then under 242, the punishment to them, this is for them. You can get a $1,000 fine, 10 years in prison. You can be executed for the violation of the people's rights. But they moved admiralty law onto our land in 1845. We've been under contract law. Where, did you remember seeing the contract? Did they make all 8 criterias to make a valid contract with any of us?
Negative.
And then the New Deal Act of 1933, which they took everyone's gold, they took away our currency. Technically, our government ended at that point. And HJR 192, that they were supposed to be debt discharging. That was the contract. They were supposed to debt discharge all of our bills. We've got a trust in all of our names called the Sesta QV Trust, where actually the average American's worth millions of dollars. They trade on you in the stock market. You don't own your name. Even when you're dead, they're still trading on your name. I've been in the trust. I've seen them. Yeah. Kirk's Law Corner, we're at 6 o'clock Eastern time. 6 o'clock Eastern time. Right now, they're teaching a class right
No,
now.
I mean, well, we can't do the class right now, but where
On YouTube.
online?
On YouTube and Facebook. Kirk's
Okay.
Law Corner.
It's called The Law Corner?
Kirk's Law Corner. Kirk's Law Corner. And then, and his name is Kirk Pendergrass, he's in Boise, Idaho. Right now, they're rewriting all of Idaho's laws. They're rewriting them all. It's the first state in the United
So
States.
we can find out about that at Kirk's Law Corner.
There's lots of places, and
Yeah,
that's one.
all of the tapes, there's even 8 classes if people, to teach the people how we hold people accountable and how we remove them out of office. And Chris Halleck is E-Clause. And he comes from a long line of the checks and balances in government and corporations.
Is he on it? Because we'll never remember.
He's there too. They're both, they do it simultaneously together at the same time. And you can ask questions on that. You can ask questions. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Law, they cannot fail in due process. If they make one mistake, it's all done and over with. Even in a court of law, they make one mistake, it's actually over with. They fail. It's just like if they got a hung jury. You can't retry it. You had your chance. It's over with. Yeah, you can't do it again. They've turned everything upside down and sideways. We're not even close to law.
We're gonna go ahead and let this gentleman have a turn here. Thank you.
Yeah, there is paperwork. We have paperwork online. We'll show it. And there's 8 classes. You can actually go through Kirk's classes. They'll teach you how to do it.
Beautiful.
We removed the family law court out of a bunch of counties in Texas already. It's already gone.
Are you saying Kirk, K-I-R-K?
Yeah.
K-I-R-K-S, Kirk's Law Court. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, sir.
So my name's Warren, and I'm actually from Athol, Idaho. I commute, I work in Spokane Valley every day,
God, that sucks.
and it's worth the drive.
I've been there.
It's worth the drive if you see where I live.
I get it.
I just had something I wanted to read, and it was something that I'd found here online. I've spent a lot of time researching COVID-19 and the 5G towers and all this stuff. I've probably read 30 hours of literature in the last 2 or 3 months on this stuff. But anyway, this is something I wanted to share with everyone. And it says, by the signing the Declaration of Independence, the 56 Americans pledge their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. It was no idle pledge. 9 signers died of wounds during the Revolutionary War. 5 were captured or imprisoned. Wives and children were killed, jailed, mistreated, or left penniless. 12 signers' houses were burned to the ground. 17 lost everything they owned. No signer defected. Their honor, like their nation, remained intact.
Thank you for reading that.
Pretty powerful message, right?
It is.
And I also want to say the police are trained to trick you into incriminating yourself.
Cops are not
You have the
your
right to
friends.
remain silent. Use that right. And if they come to your house and they knock on your door and they ask if they can come in, do not let them in.
I don't
Step
know
outside.
questions.
Step outside the door, close the door behind you, and talk to them outside.
That is
Because
right.
the minute you let them in, they don't need a search warrant for anything anymore.
Absolutely.
You
right.
invited them in, and you think you're being nice. They
Yep.
ask if they could come in. You let them in. They tricked you.
Do not talk to them. Do not answer questions.
Do not answer questions.
Ever.
So
Ever.
that's all.
Thank
just felt like I had to share that.
Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and end this for tonight. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. That's something that I got to find out more about. Yeah, sorry. This is so new that we're still trying to figure all that out. So I want to let you all know about an event at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds on June 13th. Thank you. Hold on a second. I gotta grab my pad here. Anyway.
What's my name again?
Yeah, really. So we're having an event on June 13th called Liberate America, and it's at the Kootenai County Fairgrounds. And hold on a second. Hey, gentlemen, would you go talk over there a little bit? It's kind of loud. That's okay. So this event is again on June 13th, which is a Saturday. We're going to have speakers such as Tom Deweese of the American Policy Center, Scott Herndon, Joey Gibson of Patriot Prayer, Ammon Bundy, Representative Heather Scott, Representative Matt Shea, John Jacob Schmidt, Jacqueline Gallion, Renee Holiday, who's Lady Liberty of Liberty State, Rob Chase, Pastor Afshin Yakton, Ingrid Castle, who just spoke a second ago, Greg Pruitt of the Second Amendment Alliance, Chris Brumbles, who set the standard for the nation for the Second Amendment sanctuary city nationwide, and Cornell Razor. So please join us. We're going to have music. This is really taking off, and it's getting a lot of fanfare. I think it starts at 12, and we're going to end like at 10, or I'm not sure when it's going to end exactly yet. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. But anyways, hope you all join us. It's free, and we're just trying to get sponsorship and vendors to show up, and which we're doing. So go ahead.
Are you collecting money? Because I'd like to give a few bucks and maybe just remind other people that, it takes money to do all this stuff. Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's good if we're all physically here.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have another gentleman who's actually kind of taking donations for the cause. So,
Which cause are you collecting for?
well, for the event. Donations.
For Liberate
Yeah,
America?
yeah.
I thought you meant for today.
No. This is a different thing. So, but anyways, again, if anybody else have a question, or like I said, we're still trying to get our feet here a little bit, so just bear with us. So,
Through that, when we texted rights to 801, most
Yeah.
of us here probably have already done that.
uh-huh.
Then you will put out another message like you did, and it'll still come to our phone, and that's how we'll hear
Yeah. Yep.
updates and where to
Yep.
go.
You'll get a message saying the next People's Rights meeting for Region 8 will be at. Yeah. Yep.
All your
I'll give it to you.
information will be snitched onto the state. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, that's separate. That's another. That's a different state. So I'm just helping with Washington State. Yep. Eastern Washington. Yes. Just on my YouTube channel, North Idaho Exposed on YouTube, or my name is Casey Whalen on Facebook, and I'll friend you. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
W-A-L-E-N.
It's my last. W-H-A-L. Whale with an N.
Yeah.
Whale with an N. Yep, that's it. Yep.
Because I didn't know where this was. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Oh, great. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It's okay. I don't know yet. I don't want to just start taking money, but.
Are we done?
Yes, we're done. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you ain't got tools or jewelry.